G'day guys, welcome to Rumba's Fish Room. So just before my mate Blair came over and basically we lifted a load of tanks into the fish room. So I'm going to drop a hyperlapse of that right now. Alright guys, so now those tanks are in, that actually means we can measure the size of the tanks that we need to cut up. I made a doozy. So according to my math, I worked out I needed to cut one tank roughly in half. I need to cut up 2 tanks because I can already see from looking at it that it's going to be bigger than half. So we need 290. So we need 2 at 290. I can measure right here. And the tanks are 510. So I don't know about your math, but my math tells me that that is not big enough. So we're going to cut 2 in half. And also cutting them in half with a grinder has a bit of a shit strike rate. Like it's not, I wouldn't recommend it. So basically, even though we're cutting 2 in half, it might end up actually 3 because we might stuff one up. The correct way to do this is to actually pull them apart and cut them with a glass cutter, but I can't be bothered. Straight out, that's the answer. There's no other answer besides that. I'm just too lazy to pull it apart. And last time I cut one in half, I actually had fun. I really enjoyed it, so let's just do it again, eh? Alright guys, I don't know if you can hear me. But I don't suggest trying this at home. Oh, it's already cracked. Alright guys, so my first cut was really bad. It was crappy. I was paying attention to the camera and not the cut, but if you look, this is my second cut and it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. The only problem now is there's a good side on the grinder, and when I flip this tank I'm going to be on the bad side, so I don't know what's going to happen there. I'll just start cutting from the other side. I got to flip this. Basically I want to flip it now. And the reason I cut halfway is because the last time I cut a tank, I actually cracked it flipping it on the last cut. So I want to flip it now when I'm only halfway through the cut to see if it flips better. Alright guys, check it out. I did it. I cut it. See like the cracks in that first bit. I don't know what I was doing. I was concentrating on the camera and I was rushing. I was trying to make it a quick clip for you guys. And I completely messed up. On the bright side, I do have the back of that tank now, which is free, which I can pull apart a lot easier, and I actually might recut that end out of that back. I'll try a glass cutter, but the problem is this glass has got scratches on it, so the chances of that just shattering are kind of high, but I'll give it a go. What's the worst that could happen? Also, when we cut the other one in half, we'll have more spare parts. And I've got a whole spare tank. I've actually got 2 whole spare tanks. So there's no shortage of tanks to chop up. That one's got a cracked base, so that one's definitely contended to be pulled apart before these 2. But anyway, let's go see what it looks like in the room. Alright, so what's that mark up there? Alright, so there was a ceramic plate up on the tank up there, and it scared the fuck out of me. I thought it was, it kind of looked like fire or something, I don't know, anyway. I tripped out. But anyway, that's where it's going to sit. The biggest gap's at the top, it's like 4mm, I can work with that. Same as the bottom, biggest gap's 4mm. Yeah, the only thing is I definitely want to replace that end. But let's go cut the other one. Alright, so number 2 is up. The bottom chipped out just there, you can see that chip. But that's alright, we need to patch that hole over. So 2 birds with 1 stone under there. Basically, this one's a way better fit than that one. I took a lot longer with this one, took my time. I'm sorry if you're a glazier. I'm guessing if you're a glazier, that would have been crazily cringeworthy. And also, I don't recommend anybody else cuts a tank like that. It's definitely not the right way to do it. I am a dodgy bastard, as you guys know on the channel, but makes for good content, I hope. I probably would have done that even if I didn't have a YouTube channel, but the fact that I do have one, it probably egged me on a bit more than if I didn't. Same as things like, oh, my boot got stuck then. Oh, now that I'm thinking about it, that was a bad idea. I want that back, but there's all this glass in the way. I'm going to break this apart by hand, not by foot. Alright, so I'm off to a ragingly horrible start. Is that a word, ragingly? So I tried to do it the neat way and break it up without smashing it. It kind of worked, but it kind of didn't. The piece that I want actually ended up cracked, which is not what I wanted. But luckily it cracked big enough that we can still get our piece out of it. Now I only have about 30% confidence that this is actually going to work. One thing that's in my favour is I do have a really good glass cutter. Alright, so when cutting glass, 1 pass. Never go back over it. You'll wreck your glass cutter. Whoops, that smashed. The way I like to do it, which is, there's many of ways. This is my personal choice. I actually flip it over. And there we go. I use the back of my glass cutter and I just slowly cut it, very, very slow. Let it crack along the line. Guys, that just cracked along the line. Can you believe that? These tanks are scratched and I just did a straight cut. Can you actually believe that? So I try to keep not too much of a mess. But I don't like trashing the lawn with chunks of glass because it makes for a bad time later down the track. I'll save that big piece of that. I need that. I can't put the end on. I haven't got silicone, and also I don't have Stanley blades to clean the glass up. This piece needs a lot of cleaning, but we've got our fresh end for our tank, and it's actually probably going to be the nicest piece of the tank out of the whole thing. The fact of how easy that just cut, I kind of am regretting cutting it with a grinder. Maybe I should have pulled them apart. No, don't be silly, that would have taken too long. Alrighty guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. It's starting to rain again. In case you didn't notice, I did that in the rain. for those of you who are playing at home, if you got this far through the video, I gotta get out of the rain. I still feel only 70%, so I feel 30% shit. I've still got a headache. Today's day 4 of the hangover, if you can call it a hangover. I'm done. It can get stuffed. I'm a sober man now, I think. Like fancy feeling this shit 4 days after you drink. I'm not even exaggerating, guys. Like I feel like I had 8 beers last night. So like, you know, that mild hangover. Yesterday I felt like I had 12 beers last night. The day before that I felt like I had a carton. And then, but the day that I went live, the Sunday, I didn't actually feel that bad. I think I was still fucking drunk. But anyway, that's enough of that story. I just thought I'd fill you in because I know some of you were talking about it in the comments. But if you like this video, guys, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe for more, hit that little red button, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.